Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chatty. I'm the founder of Moon Sign Creative, and I'm an astrologer, brand strategist, and I make videos on astrology, self-growth, self-care. So if that interests you, please continue watching, please subscribe. And in this video, I want to just do a sit-down, chill video talking about making friends when you're 30, in your 30s, after university, when it gets trickier to find people to make friends with. And I just feel like this is a very helpful video. I think there are a lot of things I wish I knew even just a few years ago, and I just want to share my perspective, my insight, and also like how you can look at your chart to see how to utilize that energy in your chart so that you can make more friends and just have more fun in your after university. So why not? I am 11th house stellium. So if you don't know what the 11th house is, check your chart, check where the 11th sector is, and that kind of rules our friendships, communities, groups. And I have multiple planets there, so I have a stellium there, and I really thrive in communities. I love making friends. I feel like I've been very blessed and lucky to be a part of many different friend groups and friendships. And it's interesting because growing up, I felt like I was a bit lonely still within these friend groups. And as I got older, I understood why that was. And that has a lot to do with Chiron and everything, but I won't go through all of that. But what I've learned turning 30 is that it takes effort to make friends. It does take effort, and you have to be willing to really prioritize it. You have to be willing to check in on your friends. Like, this is a very easy thing. Just go and check in on people you haven't talked to in a while and just be like, hey, how are you doing? Was thinking of you. How are you doing? You know, like something very simple. You can do this through social media, text message, whatnot. You can do that. And make sure you're focusing on them and not yourself, right? You want to focus more so on like, how are they doing? Are they okay? You know, like I think a lot of people, what I've noticed is that they might not really, I guess, know how to do this. Maybe they're just like afraid to reach out because it's been too long. But what I've noticed is like most people are very happy to reconnect or talk to friends, or at least, you know, if you vibed well, like if you understood the vibe of things, then they're happy to hear from you. They're happy you checked in and were thinking of them. I think it's flattering for people to think that, like, you know, you're thinking of them, right? Because in this day and age, we really value that. We really value connection. We really value community. And being a community owner myself, you can also join the community if you want. Patreon link is down below. But being a community like founder, I really love learning more about everyone individually as much as I can. I want to follow my community members. I want to make sure that they're doing okay, and I really try to do that. It's hard when the community grows, but I think it's important to know everyone individually by name, see what they're up to, what they're doing, when it's possible. And another way to make friends is to join groups, to join communities, online communities, in-person communities, sports events. And this is a great way to join a group of people that value the same thing as you. So if you really value being active and playing volleyball and that activity, then join a volleyball team. Just join that. And if you really value Bitcoin, you can join Bitcoin communities. If you really value astrology, you can join my Patreon community. If you really value like certain things in your life, self-development groups, follow those people, and like follow people who you inspire you, your mentors, and they often have communities of their own. They often have like those communities. So why not meet a bunch of people and make friends that way? Why not do that? I think it's just so beautiful and such an amazing thing. That's what I've done for myself. I'm a part of like, I don't know, now I'm a part of like 10 communities, and it's hard for me to keep up sometimes, but I do feel like I've met some really, really amazing friends through those communities, and I've met just some amazing people, and I really, really appreciate that. And I think it's a natural thing for us to kind of change our group of friends every few years, right? We're constantly growing and evolving, and it's okay if, you know, you can't see your friends from kindergarten all the time. You're always going to have that friendship, and maybe you won't feel as close, but for myself as an 11th house stellium, who, like, I still would love to know how they're doing and how they are. Like, I still care about them. And I think that's important, like, to actually care about those people. And I think sometimes we can just feel alone and isolated, and it's hard for us to kind of focus on other people. But it becomes easier when you're focusing on others. It gives room for other people to focus on you too. And I think it's just finding the right kind of people, the right kind of people that are good influences on you, that really support your growth, that support you and what you're doing, that are in the same place or like a higher place that you want to be at. That can mean anything, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that's really, really important. Another way to meet friends is, I know Bumble has the Bumble BFF app. I personally haven't used it yet, but I think that's like a great way to meet new people, just to, it provides an icebreaker, and it like lets you just meet individual people if you just want a one-on-one friendship. I think that's a great way to make friends. Another way is to just reach out and just be like, hey, can I gift you a reading? Or can I, like, do you want to go out for coffee sometime or whatnot? Like, make sure like you've talked to that person a few times, or like if you've met at a networking event, if you have, like, you know, networking events, you can go to those events and like talk to people there. And if you have a good vibe, then just be like, hey, are you open to having coffee sometime? Or even if you post on community groups, there's Facebook groups, you can just be like, hey, is anyone open to meeting up on Zoom every week for like just a community call or whatnot, right? It could be so many different things that you can do to just find your people, to find like more friendships. And I think it's just being open to that and very being intentional about making friends too, and just knowing that like everyone is human, and everyone really seeks to be seen and heard and validated. This is why I'm an astrologer and why I give birth chart readings, because so many people, like, we need that feeling of being seen and heard and validated. This is a human need. Oprah talks about this, but it is a human need to do that and feel that. And the more you're able to give that to other people, the more you're able to receive it as well, right? And sometimes it's really hard to do this. If you're in a very bad depressional state, I would recommend just like calling a hotline, calling a professional, because that is important to do first. And then to reach out to your network, reach out to friends, reach out to other people as well, and build up that community. And if you're starting from scratch, that's okay, right? Like, that's totally okay. A lot of the ways I've met friends now is just to comment on people's posts or comment and be encouraging, be uplifting. This is great if you have Leo in the 10th house, because I've realized for me, it's like being encouraging and uplifting to other people with Leo has helped me make friends. It's helped me connect to more people. I would look at that sign and just really utilize that sign's strengths, right? Like, if, for example, you have Aries in the 11th house, it might be great for you to go to sporting events and go to, like, join a sports team to make friends. If you have Virgo in the 11th house, school networks, learning courses, online courses where you can chat with the community, that's going to be very, very helpful for you. there's so many, I won't go through all the signs, but if you have any specific sign in the 11th house, let me know in the comments, and then hopefully I can get through all the comments for that and give some suggestions. And also look at your 3rd house, because that's how you communicate. That's like your closest friends and your siblings. And also look at your 7th house of partnerships, right? Like what partnerships you value and the chart rulers for those placements. But if you have no clue what I'm talking about, you can also book a one-on-one session with me. The link for that is down below. But I hope this was helpful. I feel like the more we kind of normalize like the sense of making friends in our 30s, in our 20s, like after college, like I think it's important. I think you have to be intentional about making friends. I think, you know, finding different ways, like even just seeing who, like if you want to meet a friend in a library, just being like, oh, what book are you reading or whatnot. Of course, not being creepy or like if it feels unnatural to you, maybe there's a different way of making friends, right? Like really think about what feels natural for you to do and what kind of friends you want to make. Write down your values and seek friends with similar values to you, right? Like if you do not value partying and staying up all night, do not try to make friends with people who only party and stay up all night, right? Like think about what you value and find friends in like those fields. Like if you want to make friends who study all the time and or like are still learning things, then really look for groups that are big on education, on self-development, and focus on that. And if you're interested in joining the Moon Sign Creative community, I offer monthly events where we just all connect and share what we're going through. The link for that is down below, and you're happy to make friends there. But I hope this was helpful. I hope this was beneficial, helpful. Let me know in the comments, and I might make a part 2 in the future, so let me know if you want a part 2 to this. But yeah, I just want to say the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care. Bye.